I am sometimes asked about weird things that happen in the theater, and this is certainly one of them. Every proscenium theater is protected by a fire curtain. It is located just behind the proscenium arch. It is often a thick curtain, meant to separate the stage from the audience, slowing the path of fire and smoke long enough to allow everyone safe passage from the building. The Haugh's fire curtain is a water deluge system. It is designed to drench the stage in a curtain of water in an attempt to extinguish the flames and keep smoke contained to the stage. It has its advantages. It allows a set designer to create continuous designs from the front of the stage all the way to the back without needing to design a gap for a curtain to fall within. It also has its disadvantages. In June of 2010, the water curtain was accidentally triggered during recertification and water started pouring onto the stage. Two students eating lunch in the scene shop didn't comprehend why a waterfall sound effect was happening on stage, especially since we were prepped for a dance concert that week. If it wasn't for their quick thinking, the resulting damage would have been exponentially worse. Students and staff from all over campus rushed to the Haugh to help. A majority of the floor was spared from major damage, thanks to a dance floor that had been taped down earlier that week for the spring dance concert. But the stage wasn't the only thing to suffer. Most of the water that fell seeped down beneath the stage and into the basement. This is where we store most of our equipment for staging, sound, and lights. Fortunately, our two concert grand pianos are stored upstairs in a room off the stage and were unaffected by the flooding. In addition, the Haugh houses over 500 scenic drops created for previous shows, as well as a collection of show-specific drops procured from a drop rental house that went out of business years ago. The college has been supplying regional theaters scenic support since then and are using many of the drops for our own college productions. But the water now threatened to destroy all of this historic artwork and theater history. All of the drops were quickly hauled out of the basement and placed into refrigerated trucks, hoping to minimize the water damage until a plan could be put in place to save them. It is estimated that about 30,000 gallons of water fell that day. The floor of the stage, between the stage and the basement, is filled with sand. Fans and dehumidifiers were brought in to suck the moisture out of the air, the floor, and the walls. And this water would fill these trash cans as the moisture was pulled from the building. These trash cans needed to be emptied about every 6 hours or so, as they continued to fill over and over again, and again, and again. While this was happening, the scenic drops from the refrigerated trucks were now brought back in, a few at a time, unfolded, hung on any available batten possible, and allowed to dry with the dehumidifiers and the fans running. They were then pulled down, folded back up, and returned to storage. This process took about 6 weeks to complete. Using this process, we were able to save about 85% of the scenic drops. During this time, the Haugh still presented shows for the college and the community, creatively working around the damaged floor. The wood planks on the front apron of the stage were buckling and curling up so much it felt like you were walking on a pirate ship. In August, the Haugh went dark and the stage floor was completely replaced. All new pine and maple planks were laid, sanded, and stained black. It's been a decade since the Great Flood of 2010, and today we stand dark again. But just as our spirits weren't dampened then, neither are they now. We miss our students, we miss our patrons, we miss our home. But we know the curtain will rise again, because if there's one thing we believe, it's the show must go on.